I was reading an article on Business Insider the other day, and it was one of those pieces that makes you pause not because it's shocking, but because it's weirdly revealing. Business Insider has this series called Power Hours, where they interview CEOs, founders, investors, and public figures and ask them a simple question: how do you actually spend your day? And after a month of these interviews, they fed the responses to AI to find the habits that kept showing up across different people, different industries, and different personalities. What stood out wasn't that successful people have superhuman discipline, it's that they are intentional about the bookends of their day, the beginning and the end. Most people treat their mornings like an emergency and nights like a collapse. But these people treat mornings like a runway and nights like an off-ramp. And when you think about it, that's the whole game. Not doing more, not hustling harder, but making better decisions inside the same 24 hours everyone gets. So here are 7 habits that kept repeating in those power hours routines, straight from the people in the article and what they actually mean in real life. Habit number 1, they protect their mornings even if they still check their phone. In 2026, not touching your phone in the morning might seem like a fantasy, where you wake up, don't touch your phone, drink lemon water, meditate for 45 minutes, read philosophy, write a journal entry, then run marathon uphill while courting Marcus Aurelius. Stacey Kennedy, CEO of Philip Morris International, admits she checks email right after she wakes up, but she caps it at 5 minutes. Then she moves into her routine, a mindful walk around her neighborhood, and she's out the door. Tori Dunlap, founder of her first 100K, also checks her phone quickly, but then she does what she calls a circadian walk along the water, something she says improves her digestion, metabolism, and energy. Meredith Bitaka, president of Signal, wakes up around 6:30 a.m., fits in a protein shake, coffee with cardamom, dance music, shows, and non-negotiable yoga routine, and still finds time to catch up on AI news. So yes, successful people check their phone too. The difference is this: their mornings don't belong to their phones. Their phone borrows a few minutes from their morning. And that's a massive shift, because the first hour of your day is basically you setting the tone for your nervous system. If the first thing you do is open a portal to other people's urgency, you start your day in reaction mode. These people don't avoid reality, they just don't let reality drive them. Habit number 2, they start the day with a drink ritual. This sounds small, almost stupid, until you notice how often it shows up. Stacey Kennedy has a non-negotiable double espresso from a Nespresso machine. David Risher, CEO of Lyft, is also firmly on Nespresso team and says he's still hunting for the perfect capsule. Carter Reum, the venture capitalist and husband of Paris Hilton, prefers a cold brew. Andrew Young goes with an iced matcha with oat milk, usually picked up from a local cafe. And Mark Rivers, CEO of Canyon Ranch, does something even more interesting. He hosts a daily cowboy coffee gathering where staff and guests sip coffee around a warm fire before the day starts. So here's what matters. The drink isn't the point. Point is that a ritual is a switch. It's a repeated signal to your brain that says, all right, we are starting. Most people start their day like they got showed out of a moving car. These people start their day like they walked through a doorway. That doorway, whatever it is, creates stability. You don't need the same drink, you need the same signal. And habit number 3, they exercise so they can think clearly. When people talk about exercise, they usually talk about appearance. When these people talk about exercise, they talk about cognition. Kevin O'Leary, yes, the Shark Tank guy, bikes 12 miles every morning for longevity and mental acuity. He literally said that if he doesn't do it, bad things happen. Jimmy Spithill, CEO of Red Bull Italy Sales GP team, hits a gym before doing anything else because he makes better decisions after he gets his blood pumping. Arthur C. Brooks, who's become well known for writing about happiness, hits the gym by 4:45 a.m., trains hard for an hour, and does it with no podcast or distractions because he believes it helps him preserve dopamine and focus. Sunny Young, CEO I Buy Direct, does 30 minutes of fast walking and slow running followed by 20 minutes of weightlifting. And Will Ahmed, CEO of Whoop, starts his day with an hour of strength training with a trainer. So what's the real habit here? It's not that successful people work out, it's this: they don't trust their brains to perform without first regulating their bodies. If your body is tense, sluggish, anxious, and restless, your brain will make worse decisions. So instead of trying harder, they change their physiology first. This is why so many people feel like their days are chaotic. They try to think clearly in a body that is basically screaming. Habit number 4, they meditate as a daily anchor, not a vibe. Meditation is one of those things people either romanticize or avoid. These leaders treat it like brushing their teeth. Will Ahmed has meditated for over 11 years. He spends 10 to 20 minutes each morning breathing deeply, letting thoughts settle. Mark Rivers uses structured breath work at night, quiet his mind and ease into an early bedtime, 8:30 p.m. Bozoma St. John, former Netflix CMO and now a Real Housewives star, starts her mornings with up to an hour of meditation, reading or prayer, and says it gives her clarity. Arthur C. Brooks attends Catholic Mass every morning at 6:30 a.m., even when traveling, and says the meditative focus helps regulate mood, sharpen creativity, and sustain concentration. Different people, different forms, same underlying move. They create stillness before the world creates noise. And most people try to find calm after they're already been mentally punched 300 times. These people place calm at the beginning, so the chaos has less control later. Habit number 5, they take loads of walks. A walk is usually framed as leisure. In this article, walks are treated like a tool. David Risher takes a 30-minute walk to get matcha, sometimes turning it into a one-on-one opportunity with a staff member. On the way out of the office, he uses the walk to take a call or listen to a podcast, while Will Ahmed takes meetings while walking outside. He even bought a walking desk. Andrew Young uses the walk to lunch to get information updates from his team. Here's what's going on. Walking is the closest thing to have a reset button that doesn't require to stop living your life. You move, your brain shift gears. Some people use it for meetings, some use it for thinking, some use it for decompression. But the deeper habit is this: they don't treat movement as optional, they treat movement as maintenance. Habit number 6, they design and batch meetings. This is where successful people stop being productive and start being strategic. Emily Fontaine, global head of venture capital at IBM, keeps meetings short and intentional, most to 20 minutes, and avoids back-to-back scheduling when she can. Sunny Young delegates non-essential meetings and sets expectations for the ones she does attend. Stacey Kennedy created something called the PODD meetings: problem, opportunity, discussion, and decision. Basically, an anti-meeting meeting. And Meredith Whittaker protects mornings for focused solitary work and batches conversations into a long afternoon block, sometimes from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. And Kennedy schedules many meetings up to a year in advance. The pattern is not meetings are bad, it's that meetings are dangerous if you don't design them. Because meetings don't just take time, it takes attention, and attention is the actual currency of performance. And the last habit, habit number 7, they end nights with a wind down ritual. This is the part almost nobody takes seriously, and it shows. Successful people don't just stop working, they transition out of work. Tori Dunlap reads at night anything from fantasy to murder mysteries, or journals to process thoughts and reset. Stacey Kennedy reads for 30 to 60 minutes in the evening, even when her husband tries to lure her into a TV series. Arthur C. Brooks prays the rosary with his wife in a void screen before 9 p.m. bedtime. Meredith Whittaker ends nights by tidying up and listening to music, a podcast, or an audio service that reads academic papers aloud. These rituals aren't impressive, but they're very, very effective, because sleep is not just about hours in bed. Sleep is about whether your mind actually believes it's safe to shut down. And most people train their minds to believe the opposite by ending every night with chaos, stimulation, and unfinished business. The real message of this article was, if you take all 7 habits and strip away the details, espresso, yoga, matcha, mass, the real message is simple. Successful people don't fill their days, they shape them. They shape the start, they shape the middle, they shape the end. They create intentional transitions, because transitions are where most people fall apart. And if you want to steal something from these routines, don't steal the exact habits, just steal the philosophy. Design your bookends, choose what your mornings mean, choose what your nights mean. Because if you don't choose, your phones will choose for you, your inbox will choose for you, and your exhaustion will choose for you. That's how weeks and years disappear. And here's the simplest place to start. Pick one bookend, either your first 30 minutes or your last 30 minutes. Don't fix your whole life, just stop letting the day begin like a fire alarm, and stop letting the night end like a crash landing. Make one transition intentional and watch what it does to everything else. Thank you for watching. Share it with one friend who needs this. Please leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.